tell you, I support it because I think it's doable.
Yes.
That's the reason why I support it. You know what, if we focus on this 210, and
I think we're running short of time. Could you wind it up?
if we focus on this 210, I'm telling you, I don't think that we have a leg to stand on with city planning, with the mayor's
Sharon, I think
office,
we've got
in
to-
terms of and developers, because we have to have everybody in the room supporting us.
On the subject, and I'll make this very quick, whether it's realistic on the Upper East Side or not.
I was just asked to say
Get her
that I am
down.
on the board of Civitas, and people have heard me say that a million times. I did so at the July meeting, so I do want to mention that as well.
Okay, I'm going to mention on the 210 feet, the undesirability, unrealistic on the Upper East Side. The height limit of 200 feet on the Upper East Side applies on 5th, Madison, Park, East End Avenue, 72nd Street, 79th Street, 86th Street, and 96th Street. So it's not an unknown quantity on the Upper East Side, it's the prevalent. The only other height limits on the Upper East Side, nothing exceeds it. Below those height limits is 170 on Lexington and 75 feet on the side streets.
Did the substitute motion get seconded?
Yes, it was second. It was second.
I can be quick, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Hold on.
Wait a minute, what about that fellow?
You said it.
This new members were
Okay,
trying.
what do you want to say?
Say something.
I'm someone who's been studying this for years now. It's part of what I do. And I think there's a lot of things people need to realize what would be the byproduct of this. And if you go around the neighborhood and you see in other zoning districts where there's contextual height limits, the density is not going to be reduced with this proposal. So developers will meet the demand for housing by doing other tricks, by cantilevering over buildings. You're going to have cantilevers left and right, buildings up and leaning over. And when you look down the road 20, 30 years from now, if you have a contextual height limit of 210 feet, the only buildings that are going to be standing in this neighborhood are the ugly ones built in the 80s. That are going to be 30 and 40 story buildings, like on East End Avenue or the one on 79th Street, that are just going to be standing there, towering over all the other buildings. You will not replace the housing stock for high-rise buildings. And I just think that there's going to be a lot of issues that arise from this. There's a lot of institutions that need to sell air rights to fund their operations. Otherwise, you're going to have them being torn down. You go to the Upper West Side, the synagogue on 93rd Street, that building's going to be torn down because they can't afford, they can't sell their air rights because the zoning doesn't provide for it. So there's a lot of byproducts of this people need to think about. Especially look at Sheree Tefillah, and you look at St. Monica's. Those are places that are probably looking to sell their air rights.
The churches have been exempt on a lot of the issues with the air rights. That's one of the issues.
I understand I'm swimming upstream, but it's just something people need to think
So
about.
here's what I want to say. I don't think there was any bad faith or bad intent here, but I think that when you're looking at something where there's the potential appearance of a procedural irregularity, it becomes critical, especially on an urgent issue, to properly notice it, that we're going to be discussing a potential special zoning district. Therefore, I think it would be a black eye for this board to pass a resolution this important without the proper notice or a historical pattern of resolutions. Therefore, I support voting for Craig's resolution, substitute resolution tonight, and I would be perfectly happy to see this posted for further discussion about whether to follow that up with a vote in favor of a special zoning district.
We've done this for over 2
That's fine.
years.
I just want everyone to hear what I say about how important it is to appear like you're doing things
Sarah
correctly.
So when I read this resolution and I've been at all the zoning meetings, I just assumed, and I don't see why.
Could you speak up?
Oh, I don't see why this resolution isn't on its face, its own thing, because a height cap of 210 is different from a height cap of 210 in a special zoning district. And the whole point of the special zoning district is that
me is we develop it
Right.
with the
Elizabeth,
planner.
Elizabeth, I'm saying that that's why I think this resolution stands on its own, because it's a special zoning district that would include the community
Absolutely.
interactive
They're all
component
process that's
moving
been
forward.
Right.
And that's why I thought that this was its own.
We're talking about the original. Elizabeth?
Barry,
Yeah,
and
thank
then
you.
Michelle.
I support the substitute motion for a number of reasons. Particularly because the name of the special zoning district is Yorkville. Let us not compound an error. The, below 72nd Street and 59th Street, this board is sadly represented. There are 3 members on this board who live between 72nd and 59th. The other 47 members live in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. This was not properly noticed to my community, which is the East 60s. If you're gonna call it the Yorkville, then keep it in Yorkville. Don't come down to 59th Street. But as a practical matter, you gotta keep it down to 59th to 96. So what I'm suggesting is, let's vote for Craig's substitute motion, which addresses the issue of height, and then come back and put together a discussion on a special zoning district that includes the entire zone, not Yorkville, but the entire Community District 8. I think we owe it to the community to be that prudent in our
Well, how
deliberation.
would you like, I think the name was just chosen. I think, what about just saying a special district?
We have
Yeah,
a
we're
great
in
vote
time.
on the floor.
To use special districts, because I don't think people, I think that what we were thinking of, we're working with a planner, this was not, this resolution was not going down to, city planning. This was a forward motion to work with a planner. We'll all be dead of old age if we go on the way we were going here, so,
Can I say a question?
what did he say?
No, I just want to make a point, and that is that the special, on the issue of the special, yeah, she recognized, on the special district.
No, she didn't recognize you, you were not.
I did.
I can't hear it.
Speak up,
All right,
Chuck,
sorry,
you can't
sorry,
hear.
Sorry, sorry. On this issue, a special district may not be the way because some have a height limit with an R10X or something like that. So it's not necessarily a special district. And I think the idea is we want to be effective. And city planning, we know, is not going to look upon this resolution the way it is favorably. So I think, just in a way to do it, is that let's get on the record 210 feet, and then let's talk to a planner and come up with the best mechanism to do that, and then we'll maybe have a better shot at it.
This is a long process planner that's been
Right.
hired and paid for by our Ben Kalos. But we thought we should come here, put it on the table, and move it. We know we're not gonna get happy troopers from city planning. That's been our issue all along. We have yet, after 10 years, had a response on the R8B that went through, okay?
Move to send it back. Move to table if that's what it has to be.
The process of a roll call.
The question not been called. There was a motion, it was seconded, and then I made my motion. I'll call them to make my motion.
Yes.
Bonding,
A point of information. What are we voting on now?
I don't remember.
No, we're going on the second.
Michelle, not here. Michelle, repeat your
I'll
resolution.
repeat the resolution. But I didn't hear it. Thank you.
We vote to call the question. Vote on whether.
Resolution.
Yeah, I did not hear a call the question.
Upper East Side Special District to include a 210-foot height limits for buildings being developed on York, First, Second, and Third Avenue.
Okay.
is that the entire?
Question was called. Yeah.
I'm not here. I move to approve calling the question. Call.
Please call the roll.
Was there a voice call for approve calling a question? Because I did not get the vote on that.
I heard.
Yes, there was.
It's already been called.
Come on.
Gail, please call the roll.
Ashby,
Yes?
Barron, yes, Birnbaum,
Yes.
Bonding,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Shockey,
Yes.
Chu? Klein?
Yes.
Falk?
No, and shame on you all.
Harrington? Harrington? Yes. Sorry. Hartsock?
Yes, 4 times.
Elbert? James?
Yes.
Johnson? No. Later? No. LaGuardia? Lamort?
Ed, you
Yes.
realize that monster you're talking about in '96 that was approved by Caleb.
Mason?
Yes.
Malampi?
So
Yes.
he approved it. So
Yes.
yes,
Marshall?
that's what I ran on.
Poe? Yes.
Yes, go look it up. Red the star.
Yes. Price? Yes.
Good.
Rosenstein? Sorry. Sanchez? Yes. Snyder?
No.
But I mean,
Selway? Yes. Shimamura? Yes. Solomon? Yes. Spagnoletti? Yes.
at 200.
Strong?
Yeah.
Adelbaum? Yes. Tamayo?
Yes.
Tejo? Absolutely not. Diaz? Wall?
No.
Walsh? Yes. Warren?
Are we getting the result of the nominating committee vote?
Yeah. Anybody pass?
The meeting has not been
The meeting has not been adjourned, I don't know why.
Meeting hasn't been adjourned. Hold on, folks.